Hey, what's up guys, Wallen Customs here, and we are in Kyoto, Japan right now, and we are doing a special review of the Marvel Legends Thor Ragnarok, Thor and Valkyrie 2-pack right here from the new movie coming out. Looks pretty sweet. I picked this up in Japan. I never saw this in America, so I'm glad to find this. And let's open them up. Alright, so here they are out of the box right here, and they do come with a couple of accessories, which is pretty nice. First off, Thor does come with two sets of hands. While one set are gripping hands for his weapons right here, while the other ones are open hands, so he has a little bit of an effect. If you want to use this, is like the electricity, because he is the god of thunder and lightning, right? So you can actually put his hands into that and stuff like that. I'll do a little bit more examples later. He also does come with a sword. And a lot of people are pointing out that this is not his sword. This is actually Heimdall's? I forgot how to say his name. It's a huge sword. It looks like it's a new sculpt as well, which is pretty nice. I like that right there. So he actually can hold this pretty well. His hands are pretty small, so it grips on really tight, and it's not going to come off or anything like that, so that's pretty cool. There's nowhere in the back to really put it, but you can actually just kind of slide it back there if you want to do that, which is pretty cool too. Not bad. For Valkyrie, on the other hand, she does come with two weapons right here. I'm not really not sure. So this is like to hold her sword right there, which is pretty nice, but I don't know where you would put this, to be honest. Unless you just slide it right here, like that, which is not bad, but yeah. I have not actually watched any reviews on this, so I'm just shooting from the hips right here. But yeah, not bad. So this is a pretty cool looking sword too. It's a nice blue. I thought it was translucent, but it's not. Looks pretty nice. It's actually really flimsy though, really flimsy, and the staff over here is actually really skinny. So it does go in her hand, but you have to be really gentle with it because it's so small and tiny and flimsy that it doesn't really stay in that well. Now this is Thor with the lightning, and you basically just entangle it in his hand and his arm to try to hold it in there. You get some cool effects, so which is not bad. It's pretty good, pretty cool. It is pretty flimsy as well, so you really have to be kind of careful with it because it might fall off. So you just really want to entangle it in between his fingers and his thumb, also like that. So you shouldn't have any problems though. Alright, so taking a look at Thor up close and personal, I have to say he looks fantastic. It's actually the same base body as the single card version that came out for the Gladiator Hulk set, and which is not bad. I think it's pretty good. There are some key differences to it though. Of course, this one doesn't have the shin guards on the bottom. This one also has a new head sculpt, which is fantastic in my opinion. I'm trying to zoom in so you can see how that looks like. I'm not using my normal camera, so bear with me, but you can pretty much see how it looks like. It looks pretty good in my opinion. It's pretty nice because this one doesn't have the paint on his face as well, so this is basically a clean head sculpt to have for your Thor, which is good too because in the movie he has no hair, and also in the comic books, I mean, no, he has short hair, that is, and also in the comic books he has short hair too. So you can play with that. You can use this for your comic book figures as well if you choose to do that. But it's a nice touch. But overall, it looks pretty nice. The outfit looks pretty good. Pretty much the same thing as before, with new hands also, which is pretty good. Here's the back. He has that cape over there, the hips, that connects to the hip right here. Doesn't like to stay that much though. You really have to dig it in there. But overall, yeah, pretty good. Pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. I like this figure a lot. I actually like the new mold, the body mold they use compared to the older Thors. This has better articulation. It's a little bit more proportionate as well. Better hip joints, ab joint, and everything. So, alright, so here is Valkyrie, and I have to say she looks pretty good. I forgot the actress's name that plays her, but the likeness is pretty good in my opinion. I think it looks pretty nice, and little details on her eyes right there, some face paint, pretty good. The hair in the back looks pretty nice as well. It's a little harder than I thought it would be. Normally hair sculpt's a little bit more softer, but not horrible. But going down to the outfit, I think the outfit looks fantastic. Pretty much a gunmetal look with some details, really clean details as well in the outfit, which is pretty nice. This part right here is actually really soft plastic, so it won't hinder, soft rubber that is, so it won't hinder the articulation in my opinion. But going down, she does have 2 more daggers right here, but they're pretty much molded in, they don't come out. But overall, I like it. The body sculpt as well, I like too. I'm not sure if this is a reused body sculpt from another figure, because she seems to have a little bit more thickness to her, which is not a bad thing. I think is pretty good. She is a warrior as well, so she should be a little bit bigger. But I like it. Definitely looks pretty nice. Now going down over here, she has a random gold thing, which I'm not really sure what that is. And the boots in the bottom. So, you know, her outfit's pretty plain when it comes to color, but I think it comes off pretty nicely with the silver accents all over the place. Yeah, pretty good. Here's the back. She has a little bit of a cape as well. Alright, so going to articulation really quickly, he has a ball jointed head, Thor does, on a hinge. It goes all the way up pretty good. Goes down pretty nicely right there, which is not bad. Left and right as well, pivots a little bit, which is pretty standard. The shoulder joints on hinge joints that rotates, they go all the way up. And this part doesn't really hinder the articulation that much, so it's not bad. But this figure, mine copy at least, is pretty stiff in these shoulder joints. I remember the one I had back at home is pretty good. But this one, you know, it needs some loosening up. Not bad though. You get it there. Bicep swivel, 2 points at the elbow right there, a wrist joint and a hinge and a swivel right there as well. Ab joint is pretty good, pretty standard, no complaints here at all. He does have a waist swivel as well. At the hips, it could be a little bit better. This definitely does hinder it over here, this cloth. This is actually harder right here. This part is pretty soft, but this part is a little bit harder, so it hinders it a little bit. You can't get quite 90 degrees, but almost there. He does have a thigh swivel, 2 points at the knee. No boot swivel, but the ankle, he does have a pivot and a hinge, so it's pretty standard. So yeah, I like this a lot. I would definitely probably cut this or clean it up a little bit so you get the hips to work a little bit better. But overall, great articulation for Thor. Alright, so for Valkyrie, she does have pretty standard articulation as well. She has a ball joint on a hinge, goes up, goes down really far actually, so it's pretty good, but looks kind of weird. It goes left and right and pivots as well, no problems right there. She has hinge joint shoulders that rotate all the way around. Very nice rotation, nice and smooth. Everything works really well. No bicep swivel right there, but she does have the elbow that goes up almost basically 90 degrees, but also rotates left and right. So you have that. At the wrist, she has a hinge and a swivel. She does have a ball jointed ab joint right here. And it's not the greatest. It moves a little bit, but it could be a little bit better. It does turn though and pivot a little bit, so there you have that. I think she has a waist swivel. Yeah, she does. Waist swivel right there. And she has T-jointed hips. Really good. See, like I said before, this is a pretty soft rubber, so it doesn't hinder the articulation. Split wise, about that much though. Not the greatest. She has a thigh swivel right there. 2 points at the knee. No boot swivel, and at the ankle she has a hinge and a pivot. So it's pretty standard right there for a Marvel Legend as well. Alright, size comparison time. I know this is a pretty weak size comparison on my standard because this is all I have on me on my trip to Asia. So we have a Halo figure, a standard one, about the same size as a Spider-Man Marvel Legends, so you could kind of bear and guess right there. And right here we have Snorlax, so looks pretty good. You know, I guess Valkyrie is having her to be a pretty big character. I'm not really sure how big she is in the movie, but as a character for your figures, she'll have a pretty good presence right there. And of course, Thor is always really big. And that's about it, guys. You know, I really like this 2-pack. I like it a lot. I really, you know, Valkyrie is really nice. I have to admit, she looks pretty good. But the Thor figure is the one I wanted the most because I like having an updated Thor. I like the fact that he has shorter hair now as well. If you want to take this head and use it on another Thor body, you could definitely do that as well. And overall, looks pretty good. And that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching all the way from Kyoto, Japan. Sorry for the, MacGyver-like setup I have right here. But when I get back to normal. So thanks for watching, guys. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want. Pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at wildandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace.